Hi everyone. So I'm Abi.
I'm Becky.
And we're two of the co-founders from A Fleet for Change. So we're creating nighttime shared travel with human-led safety features and demand-responsive technology. So demand-responsive technology is basically smart routing with an algorithm so that you can pick people up and drop people off along the same journey. So we decided to start A Fleet for Change because as friends, we both had personal experiences of safety concerns throughout the day and at night when travelling home. We've had lots of friends that have the same thing. And Becky actually ran for South Yorkshire Mayor a few years ago, and in her campaign there was a lot of issues with transport poverty and safety issues at night with transport. So we decided to start A Fleet for Change, as you do, just start a company. And so we actually joined the Cooper project at Sheffield Technology Parks, and in the same month of joining decided to apply for an Innovate UK grant, and we actually won that. So we got an £80,000 grant to do loads of research on safety at night, not just public transport, Uber, taxis, private hire, because this is a big issue for ourselves and lots of other people. So we did loads of surveys, 10 in-depth interviews and a few workshops, and we got about 300 survey respondents. And when I say survey, it was like 65 questions. Some of them were quite in-depth, so it was quite a mission to get through.
Absolutely.
In retrospect. And from this, we found some really alarming stats and had some really good conversations with people about what they would like to see from their transport at night, how they can feel safe. But as well as the safety, it was also the sustainability aspect. So how people can feel safe while on a journey with strangers, because we do want to include other people on that same journey to keep it sustainable. So one really shocking figure that came out of it, this was secondary research, was that 182 sexual crimes occurred in private hire vehicles just in 2021 in London alone. And obviously this is that's been recorded and reported because most of them don't. And then from our research, we found that 2/3 of respondents avoided public transport at night because of their safety concerns. So we found about, I think it was about 10 key opportunities for our business, but 3 of them were, so driver training was really important because many people don't feel safe because they don't know how to approach the driver, or the driver might make them actually feel unsafe, and the driver themselves sometimes doesn't feel safe. The second one was addressing prior to transit, like when you're stood waiting for an Uber or for a bus, it can be really like not well lit and not many people around. And then also enabling passengers to ask for help, because there's not really a great alert system on buses or in Ubers right now. So we wanted to tackle that.
Yeah. Thank you. And one of the other things that we found out from a key opportunities point of view was actually our core strategy. So it really gave us a clear focus on how to actually take this to market, because there's a lot of DRT services out there already, but they're mainly focused around that sort of community element of getting round in rural areas. So what we want to do is actually focus exclusively on the nighttime market to make it a profitable business, to then feed back into that community space where it's perhaps not as profitable, to make it a sustainable business as well. So fundamentally, we got that core strategy from the research as well. And now I get to talk about the fun bit, because I was a business analyst for 20 years as well, so I'm a bit of a geek at heart, so I get to talk about the UI UX now. So back right when we started and started discussing the idea, we've got a wonderful woman called TJ White, who's our UI UX designer. This was kind of the sort of look and feel of what we thought the software would look like before we had any user interaction. Now, we do want to be a company that actually bases their decision on what people want. Not what we think we want, but actually what we want. So one of the hardest things for me has been to sit on my hands and do no coding. I'm like, don't do any coding yet. So what we did then with the Innovate UK funding is ran the survey and then a workshop. So that then fed into this minimum viable product, which you can see is much more of a sort of nighttime look and feel. And then after the second workshop, so we actually printed these off and laminated them, and the workshop was just absolutely incredible, getting all the really valid feedback from people. And one of the sort of key bits of information is just how simple it needs to be, because people are traveling at night, they might have had a few to drink, so we really need to make it as simple as possible to use. I just want to press my phone and go, oh, get me home. And then we moved on to the last piece here, which is getting to our minimum viable product with the sort of new level of branding as well. So you can see it keeps getting sort of simpler and simpler, and then I just absolutely love the look and feel of what we've ended up with at the end of the project.
Yeah, so we wanted new branding because we didn't want it to feel dark and like the looming threat of what's going to happen like when you get home at night. We wanted it to actually be, it's just everybody wants to get home safely and you just want it to feel nice. So during the project, we set up as a community interest company, and then during the project, we realised we need to be a private limited so that we can raise investment to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. So we got a new branding kit that had more of a what we are now feel. So we are now called We Are Fleet as opposed to Fleet for Change. So yeah. These are all the people that we're working with now. We're partnered with the nightclub Forge, if you've heard of it, working with HopeWorks as well, and partnered with some campaigns like Unite Unions, Get Me Home Safely campaign. And yeah, we won Most Exciting Companies Award this year as well, so that was great. And if you want to help us, then you can sign up for a membership and support our journey for as little as £3 a month, till we can get investment. Thank you.
Thank you.